Hello students, welcome to my class. So after doing ammonia, let us now study nitric acid. And in this chapter, I will elucidate lab preparation of nitric acid, physical properties and chemical properties of nitric acid, uses and tests of nitric acid. I will also include Brown ring test and the heating effects of nitrates. Let me not miss that I will stick to your syllabus while explaining. I will discuss the question pattern and try to prepare you so that you will not have any difficulty in solving the exercise. And also I'm pretty sure that you will understand this chapter very nicely and you will like the video also. So children, please like, share and subscribe my channel. And now let us begin with the nitric acid, and the molecular formula is HNO3 and it's known as aqua fortis, meaning strong water that reacts with all metals. Okay, and the bonding goes as hydrogen single bonded with oxygen, which in turn single bond with nitrogen. There are 3 electrons in the outermost orbit, so 1 with this oxygen done and 2 more with this oxygen. It has got a lone pair which will form a dative bond with another oxygen. So HNO3, hydrogen single bond with oxygen, oxygen another single bond with nitrogen, double bond nitrogen with oxygen and a dative bond. The molecular mass is 63 gram. How? Nitrogen 14, hydrogen 1, O3 16 into 3 is 63 gram. To talk about the free state nitric acid, you will find in rainwater. Combined state in many of the metallic nitrates you get. And its formation in atmosphere will be nitrogen and oxygen during lightning will combine to form nitric oxide, NO, and nitric oxide with oxygen will give you nitrogen dioxide, with very quickly with oxygen and water will dissolve to give you nitric acid. Now we straight away now come to laboratory preparation. The reactants which we take can be niter or child saltpeter, that is potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate, with concentrated sulfuric acid. And the reaction goes at KNO3 and conc sulfuric acid at a temperature less than 200 will give you potassium bisulfate and HNO3. And if you are doing with child saltpeter, that is NaNO3 plus conc H2SO4 at a temperature less than 200 degrees Celsius, we should put the temperature sodium bisulfate and HNO3. Now, pure nitric acid is colorless, but the acid which we obtain here is slightly yellow. Now, this yellow color is due to the dissolution of the reddish brown nitrogen dioxide in the acid. It is produced by thermal decomposition. So, HNO3 can give water, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. This nitrogen dioxide, this reddish brown color dissolves in nitric acid, giving you a slight yellow color, but otherwise pure nitric acid is colorless. This yellow color can be removed by dry air or CO2, which will help in removing the yellow color, or even the excess water can be added to remove the yellow color of the acid, because dry air and carbon dioxide when bubbled will drive out nitrogen dioxide, and water can quickly mix and the yellow color can be removed. There are certain precautions also that we should take care of, and they are: it should be all glass apparatus. The entire arrangement should be glass apparatus, because nitric acid vapors will attack rubber and cork. So airtight rubber stopper or cork is not used at all. We cannot use conc HCl here because that is volatile in nature. We need conc H2SO4 because we have discussed this when we were doing the HCl chapter, that it is non-volatile and the temperature less than 200 degrees too high, so it will not volatilize out with the nitric acid vapors. The temperature should not exceed 200, and we know the reason why it is. It may damage the glass apparatus and it's a waste of energy, and we get sodium sulfate and nitric acid, and we know that sodium sulfate will stick to the glass and it's very difficult to remove. So these are some facts which we have already studied in the earlier chapters and we know about it. We go to the next topic on nitric acid, and that is Ostwald's process. So industrial way of preparing is Ostwald's process, where ammonia and dry air, actually dry air and ammonia, and the ratio should be ammonia to air is 1:10, more of air because the amount of oxygen which we really need in all the three chambers of the Ostwald's process are oxygen, and oxygen is only 1/5 of the air. Therefore, much amount of air is actually taken into the catalytic chamber when ammonia reacts with oxygen in the presence of platinum at some 800 degrees Celsius to give you nitric oxide, water and heat. This reaction we have already done in the ammonia chapter, so it's been used in the Ostwald's process also. And next, the temperature is reduced and it is passed to the oxidation chamber where nitrogen monoxide, that is nitric oxide and oxygen at some 50 degrees Celsius gives you nitrogen dioxide. And in the absorption tower, this nitrogen dioxide with water and oxygen gives you nitric acid. So oxygen is actually used in all the three, therefore the ratio is 1:10. This absorption tower is actually filled with quartz packed in layers because quartz is acid resistant and it helps in the dissolution of nitrogen dioxide in water. Therefore, these are some of the things which you should be taken care of. It should be mixed uniformly, therefore quartz is taken. We come to the physical properties. It's a colorless liquid as we discussed just now. Suffocating smell, acidic in nature, so sour taste, hygroscopic and fumes in air. It's soluble in water and corrosive in nature. So all these are somewhat similar to the acid property, and some more are different that you have to remember. Coming to the chemical properties, it is unstable to heat and sunlight, which we discussed just now, that nitric acid, even being colorless, gives a yellowish color because it can be dissociated quickly in heat and even in sunlight. So nitric acid can give you nitrogen dioxide, water and oxygen, thus making the solution yellow. Therefore, it is preferably kept in colored bottles in dark places so that dissolution is not taking place much. The dilute nitric acid reacts with alkali to give you salt and water, so potassium oxide plus dilute nitric acid. Dilute I have not written, but children, you should write dilute here. To give you salt, potassium nitrate and water. Same with sodium hydroxide and nitric acid dilute will give you sodium nitrate and water. For the reaction with the metallic carbonates or the bicarbonates, dilute nitric acid gives salt, water and carbon dioxide as shown. Calcium carbonate and dilute nitric acid gives you calcium nitrate, water and carbon dioxide. So does sodium bicarbonate, giving you sodium nitrate, water and carbon dioxide. The reaction with metallic sulfides or bisulfides, dilute nitric acid will give you salt, water and sulfur dioxide. So potassium sulfite with dilute nitric acid gives you potassium nitrate, water and sulfur dioxide. Calcium bisulfite with dilute nitric acid gives you calcium nitrate, water and sulfur dioxide. So here the questions can be, if I can go back to the first slide and talk about the question pattern once again, showing you first the molecular mass, second about aqua fortis, third the reaction of laboratory preparation, any one of the two, Why don't we use conc HCl? We discussed it just now. Why is pure nitric acid even colorless, gives a yellow look? Answer, we discussed just now. How to remove the yellow color? We discussed just now. Why is nitric acid kept in dark colored bottles? Also we discussed when we were doing the properties. Why do we need the all glass apparatus? Why is the temperature to be maintained less than 200? This is from the first slide. From the second slide, if we can discuss the types of questions. Give the chemical reaction in the catalytic chamber of Ostwald's process, or give the chemical reaction taking place in the oxidation chamber of the Ostwald's process, or give the chemical reaction taking place in the absorption tower of the Ostwald's process, or give all the three equations taking place in the Ostwald's process to prepare nitric acid. You have to write all the three, giving all the conditions, otherwise your mark is cut. Complete balanced equation. About the physical properties, and fill in the blanks or somewhat can come. If we come to the chemical properties, give the chemical equation when nitric acid is exposed to sunlight. This is the chemical equation. Sorry. Complete the equation giving the reactants. What do you observe when calcium carbonate is treated with dilute nitric acid? So we say a colorless, odorless gas comes out which turns the lime water milky. Or what do you observe when potassium sulfite is added to dilute nitric acid? We say a colorless gas with a smell of burning sulfur is given out which turns the acidified potassium dichromate orange to green. Next part of the chemical reaction, or the chemical properties of nitric acid. Oxidizing property, because nitric acid oxidizes vigorously. It oxidizes metals, it oxidizes non-metals also. But here we are talking about concentrated acid. So carbon with concentrated nitric acid gives you carbon dioxide, water and nitrogen dioxide. Sulfur with conc nitric acid gives you sulfuric acid, water and nitrogen dioxide. So this is a non-volatile acid, this is a volatile acid. So what is the chemical equation to prepare a volatile acid from a non-volatile acid? That is, this equation is very important. Many questions are put for this. Action on metals. Now we are talking about both dilute nitric acid and concentrated nitric acid. Concentrated nitric acid will give you nitrogen dioxide, where dilute nitric acid will release nitric oxide. So with all the same metals, copper, zinc and iron, copper with dilute nitric acid gives you copper nitrate, water and nitric oxide, whereas copper with concentrated nitric acid will give you copper nitrate, water and nitrogen dioxide. So the observation will be here reddish brown vapors or reddish brown gas. Here it is not there. So you can distinguish between the dilute nitric acid and concentrated nitric acid using the metal copper. You can try out with zinc also, giving you zinc nitrate, water and nitric oxide. Whereas with concentrated nitric acid you get zinc nitrate, water, nitrogen dioxide. Similarly with iron, giving you ferrous nitrate, water and nitric oxide. But with concentrated nitric acid it gives you ferric nitrate, water and nitrogen dioxide, just because concentrated nitric acid has got a greater oxidizing property as compared to the dilute nitric acid. This nitric acid concentrated gives you 1 nascent oxygen, whereas dilute nitric acid gives you 3 nascent oxygen. So we come to the next part. That is, dilute nitric acid is not used to liberate hydrogen with metals. We have discussed this in the last year's hydrogen chapter. If you want, you can go back to the hydrogen chapter explanation which I have given for standard 9. But I'll repeat it here also. Dilute nitric acid with metal is not used to liberate hydrogen, whereas dilute sulfuric acid and dilute HCl acid with active metals gives you salt and hydrogen. But nitric acid dilute has got a strong oxidizing agent which will not give you hydrogen, but it will oxidize hydrogen to water, thus defeating the method to prepare hydrogen. Therefore, it cannot be used, but with manganese and magnesium, a very dilute nitric acid, that is 1% dilute acid, can be used to prepare hydrogen, exceptional case. About aqua regia, we have done in the HCl chapter, therefore I am not going into detail of explanation of the definition. I just remind you that conc nitric acid and conc HCl, hydrochloric acid, in the ratio of 1:3 will give you nitrosyl chloride, water and nascent chlorine, which can be used to react or purify platinum and gold, giving you platinum chloride and gold chloride, which is soluble. Therefore, it can be used as a gold refining. So, to purify gold is the use TNT, trinitrotoluene, rocket fuel, H designs and prepare fertilizers are some of the uses. There are some more given in your text, children. I would suggest please learn all of them. Test. We discussed just now with copper, conc nitric acid will give you reddish brown fumes of nitrogen dioxide, so you can identify that it is nitric acid. For a brown ring test, which is generally used for any nitrate, so nitric acid also can be tested by it, adding conc sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid, and a freshly prepared ferrous sulfate. Why freshly prepared? Because if you are using the ferrous sulfate already prepared and kept, it can get oxidized very fast. So a freshly prepared ferrous sulfate, and when added from the sides of the test tube, will give you a brown ring, and the compound is nitrosoferrous sulfate, a brown compound which is very unstable. If you shake it or heat it, it will dissolve very fast. But this brown ring at the sides of the test tube is known as the brown ring test for a nitrate. We go to the next, that is the effects of heat on nitrates. We have done it earlier, but since it is there in your syllabus, you should know that a sodium nitrate gives you sodium nitrite and oxygen, a colorless, odorless gas that will rekindle a glowing splinter is the observation. Potassium nitrate will give you potassium nitrite and oxygen, colorless, odorless gas which will rekindle a glowing splinter. Calcium nitrate will give you calcium oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. White residue, reddish brown colored gas, another gas which will rekindle the glowing splinter. Zinc nitrate will give you zinc oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. A residue which is yellow when hot and white when cold, a reddish brown colored gas, and another gas which will rekindle the glowing splinter. Lead nitrate on heating will give you lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen, a residue which is yellow and fuses with the glass, a reddish brown colored gas, and another gas which rekindles the glowing splinter. Copper nitrate gives you a black residue, reddish brown colored gas, and another gas which rekindles the glowing splinter. Silver nitrate will give you silver, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen, and the observation is a silver metal reddish brown colored gas, another gas that rekindles the glowing splinter. And mercury nitrate will give you mercury, so a silvery grey, shiny, nitrogen dioxide we just discussed, and oxygen also we just discussed. Ammonium nitrate, we discussed this when we were doing the ammonia chapter. Types of questions also I discussed. Name the compound which will not give you any residue, or the two gases comes out, that is nitrous oxide and water. There are some questions also which I have noted down for you. If you can look for the answers. If there are any doubt, please ask me in the comment section. I will clear. Name a nitrate which on heating leaves no residue behind. Name a solution which absorbs nitric oxide. Why is freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution used in brown ring test? State the observation. When lead nitrate is heated in a dry test tube, give the chemical equation of oxidation of carbon with nitric acid, concentrated nitric acid. Name the acid used to prepare a non-volatile acid. How will you distinguish between dilute nitric acid and concentrated nitric acid? Most of the questions I have discussed in the video. Please watch the video properly. Look for the answers. If you do not, please ask for help. And I am sure this is a very easy, simple, interesting chapter and easy for you to prepare also, because most of the equations are known equations. And I'm sure you're liking my video. Children, please like, share and subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified about my upcoming video.